Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Victoria Kolesnik. I'm a MEM Publications CLT consultant for Linguist Company in Ukraine. And I'm very happy to welcome you to this webinar. And I want to tell you that I'm not alone here today. Yana Tsvilyuk, our amazing linguist CLT consultant, is with us today. So she will help me in moderating this webinar. If you have any questions concerning textbooks, you can type in the chat and she will give you answers. So, okay, I will open the chat. Hello from Dnipro, Kharkiv, hello. Chernihiv, Mykolaiv region, Kaniv, hello. Greetings from Odessa, Great Britain. Hello from Sumy. Hello, Ternopil. Nice to see you here. Chernivtsi, again, Kharkiv, Germany. Myrhorod, Volyn, Brovary. Hi, everyone. So, you know, the educators all over Ukraine are here today. And I like this moment when we greet each other. Hello from Dnipro. So, how is the start of school? Is it challenging? Oh, not really. Kharkiv, hello. Okay, not really. It's really easy. Okay. So, today we are talking about how to boost your students' exam writing skills. As we know, writing is the most difficult part in exams because it requires students to structure their knowledge, organize their thoughts, and express themselves clearly and concisely under pressure. And at the same time, it is also a complex skill that requires students to have a strong understanding of grammar, content, vocabulary, and style. And it is out of the question that writing is important for high school students to learn. First of all, writing is a fundamental communication skill that students will need to use in all aspects of their lives, both personal and professional. Then writing can help students to develop their critical thinking skills. When students write, they are forced to think about their ideas in details and to organize them in a logical way. And it is also helps students to develop their creativity and self-expression. And teachers play very important role in helping high school students to develop their writing skills because you can provide students with instruction on grammar, vocabulary, structure, and style. And you can also help students to develop their critical thinking and creative writing skills by providing them with opportunities to practice writing in a variety of contexts. But before we start, I would like to remind you about your certificate. So, as you can see, we've got a new type of the certificates that include unique numbers, your name and surname, credits, and program. And I ask you to be patient, and you need to wait, and within 7 working days, not 3 as it used to be, but 7 working days, there will be the letter with the link and instruction how to find the certificate. You just need to follow the link and instruction, and it will be as easy as 5 to find and download your certificate. And if you have any difficulties in finding your certificate, just contact me and I will help you with this issue. There will be my contact information at the end of the webinar. Just jot it down, and you can contact me if you need it. So, I just want to check our chat. Okay. And my first question is, what are the biggest challenges your students face in exam writing? Okay. What are they? Vocabulary, lack of ideas, grammar, lack of imagination, again, grammar, structure of the text, conditionals. So grammar, yes, organizing information. Absolutely, yes. Like different students, but the same challenges. Not understanding the main task, the grammar. Okay, so understanding the exam format and requirements is one of the challenges that students may face. Students may not be familiar with the different types of exam writing tasks, and they may not understand the specific requirements for each type of task. They may have some difficulties in brainstorming and organizing their ideas. Students may have difficulty coming up with enough ideas or their letters or essays that they need to write, or they may have difficulty organizing their ideas in a clear and logical way. And sometimes it is difficult to write clear sentences and paragraphs. Students may make some common grammar mistakes, or they may write in a way that is difficult to read and understand. And we can add double reads. They are work. So students may not have enough time or desire to proofread their work carefully before submitting it, or they may not know how to identify and correct their mistakes. And if we are talking about writing, we can say that writing in secondary school differs from high school writing in several ways. So secondary school writing may be less complex and demanding in terms of content and style. And it may focus more on basic writing skills such as grammar and sentence structure. And it may involve shorter writing assignments such as paragraphs and short essays. And speaking about high school writing, it is typically more complex and demanding than secondary school writing. This is because high school students are expected to have a deeper understanding of the subjects they are writing about, and to be able to express their ideas in a more sophisticated way. And it may involve deeper analysis or even some kind of research. And high school writing assignments are typically longer than secondary school writing assignments. And again, high school students are expected to be able to develop their ideas in more details. But both secondary school writing and high school writing are focused on creative writing and personal reflection. So how do you think when teachers should start preparing their students for writing tests? Because high school exams include writing components. From the beginning, what do you mean? Secondary school? We can start preparing our students, or I see the fifth form. Yes, from the secondary school. I share your opinion. Yes. The sixth, the fifth grade. Okay. So you can start preparing your students by providing them with the regular opportunities to write in different styles. And this will help students to develop their writing skills and to become more confident and more comfortable with different types of writing tasks. You can give students feedback on their writing. Actually, we are going to dive into this aspect a little bit later. And you can teach students about the different stages of the writing process, such as pre-writing, organizing, drafting, revising, and editing. By doing this, you help students to develop a systematic approach to writing and to produce high quality essays or whatever. Or model good writing practices for students to understand what is expected of them on writing tests. And you can provide students with opportunities to practice writing under timed conditions, so students become more comfortable with the pressure of writing tests. What are some practical tips and strategies you can use to help your students improve their exam writing skills? First of all, students teach your students about exam format and requirements. Make sure that students understand different types of exam writing tasks that they will face, as well as their specific requirements for each type of task. By understanding their exam format and requirements, students can develop a better strategy for answering their questions and managing their time effectively. You can propose your students to review the previous exams or the previous tests, and this will give students a chance to see what the exam questions look like and to practice answering them. And it is also important to discuss the common mistakes that students make on the exam and how to avoid them. And you can also use practice exams to help students prepare for the exam. Practice exams should be similar to the real exam in terms of format, content, level, so the students can get a better understanding or a better feel for the exam and identify any areas where they need to improve. Then provide students with opportunities to practice exam writing tasks. This will help students to become more familiar, again, with the format, yes, and requirements of the exam, and to develop their exam writing skills. And you can provide students with in-class exercises that require them to write short exam responses. For example, you can ask students to write a paragraph or a summary of a passage they have just read, or to write a short essay answering a question about the topic they are studying. And you can also assign students homework assignments that require them to write longer responses. For example, students are asked to write full length essay or to complete a practice a practice exam, which should be taken under time conditions. And this can help students to get used to the pressure of taking a real exam and to learn how to manage their time and stress. Just make sure that the practice tasks are similar to the real exam tasks. This will give students the best possible preparation for the real exam and give students enough time to complete this practice task in order to develop their exam writing skills, and encourage students to double read their work before submitting it. This will help them to catch and correct mistakes in grammar, spelling, and vocabulary. Then, give students feedback on their exam writing. Providing students with feedback on their writing is a very important part of helping them to improve their skills and knowledge. It will also help students to identify their strengths and weaknesses, and it will help them to develop strategies for improvement. And there are a number of different ways to give students feedback on their writing. For example, you can provide them with written feedback on their essays, and this feedback can be general, like your letter was well organized and well written, or it can be specific. For example, the beginning was very nice, but your conclusion could have been more developed. Or you can give students feedback on their writing when you have a face-to-face discussion with them. And this can be a good way to discuss their work in more details and to give them personalized advice. And you can use technology to support exam writing. And there are a number of online resources that can help students to improve their writing skills. For example, students can use online resources to find practice exams, to learn about different writing strategies, and to get feedback on their work. And you can propose your students to use Grammarly. This is an online writing assistant that helps people improve their writing. And it was developed by Ukrainian software developers, so we are very proud of them. And this application works by using artificial intelligence to scan the text for grammar, spelling, and style mistakes. To use Grammarly, your students just need to create an account and copy and paste the text into this editor. And this program will highlight any potential mistakes and provide suggestions for correcting them. And they can also choose to add this program into their word processor, and this will allow them to check their writing for mistakes as they type. So it's a popular tool for students and anyone who wants to improve their writing skills, professionals. Actually, you can see the part of the article my husband is working on right now. He's a researcher, and it is available as a free version and premium version, but with more advanced features. But I guess it will be like a free version will be enough for your students to check their writing. So let's go further. I see Grammarly can be useful. Okay. So there are specific skills that are assessed in a writing part can vary depending on the level of the exam and the subject matter. However, the skills that are assessed in writing exams include, as we can see, content, structure, and here we are talking about logic and linking, to link ideas in their sentence. The student can use and, but, so, however. If there is why in the task, then there will be because in the answer, and we use it as a linking verb. And in order to join sentences, students can use to begin with firstly, in addition, secondly, all in all, to sum up, or some linking phrases like actually, you know. So in order to get maximum, students need to pay attention to this, to logic and linking. And here we talk about students' ability to organize their thoughts and ideas in a logical way. Then, vocabulary. They need to draw their attention to the spelling. Grammar. Here we are talking about understanding and use of grammar. And the most common grammar mistakes that students make are incorrect grammar tenses, like the use of number and person, like my mom cook, or me and my sister is. Then, what else? Word order, that is in the questions. What you like instead of what do you like? Or the word order that is in the statement sentences. For example, what is your hobby? Instead of what your hobby is, if we talk about statements. So when we want to avoid making the question. Infinitives like must, to go, instead of must go. And you can take examples where other students make mistakes and analyze them with your learners. Again, plurals, yes, knowledge, money, hair, is, yes. Again, you can analyze the most frequently made mistakes and style, whether it's essays, formal or informal letters. The students need to take into consideration the styles because they are different. Okay, so if we talk about the style, there are some common indicators of informal style. First of all, we use name instead of name and surname. We start like hi N or dear Tom instead of dear Tom Brown. Then we use contractions like I'm, you, his instead of the full form. And we end the informal letter with love, best wishes, and the name. And when students use these indicators in their writing, this will show that they know the difference between formal and informal styles. To teach this in your lessons, you can give a sample of a letter and propose your students to identify the indicators of informal letters. Yes, so they pay attention to the greeting. There is only name, yes, not name and surname, hi and then we can see contractions. How's everything going? You're fine, and so on. And some phrases of the spoken language, like guess what, right? So just provide your learners with the sample so they can analyze and use it as an example when they write their own letters. And you can give the example of the letter to learners and provide the learners with the pieces of paper naming the parts of the informal letter. Just ask your students to match the proper parts of the letter with the letter itself for you to see whether they are familiar with the structure of the letter or not. Or you can use this old-fashioned method when you cut the letter into pieces. Yes, you cut it according to different paragraphs, and students need to find the missing part. Like the sequence of the paragraphs. Yes, they try to keep it. They try to follow this order, and they can work in pairs or small groups. And when we are talking about informal letters, informal style, we teach our students to address in this way, like dear Tom or hi Steve. Then opening remarks, actually these phrases should be drilled and like, how are you? I haven't heard from you for ages. And they need to remember that there is a letter of reply, yes, and then they will use phrases like, thanks for your letter. It was really nice to hear from you. Or the letter when they initiate the correspondence, and again, they will need the phrases like, how are you? I haven't heard from you for ages, so they don't need to mix up. And then main body, 3 paragraphs. Yes, every condition in the task should start with a new paragraph, and closing remarks. It's a good idea to drill them. Then ending, love, yours, best wishes, and again the end the letter with the name, not name, and so on. So, speaking about writing, the writing process or model, yeah, you may find different models of the writing process, and the stages may vary, but I want to propose you to take a look at this one. So this is Power's approach. It is a structured approach to teaching writing in English. And the acronym Powers stands for pre-write, organize, write or draft, evaluate, revise, and share. So it involves pre-writing, organizing, writing, evaluating, revising, and sharing stages. In the pre-writing step, student thinks about the topic and gathers necessary information on the topic, and brainstorms to organize ideas. The pre-writing stage is also known as mind mapping or brainstorming, and it can be performed in 3 ways. So the first one is listing. Students just list some points that can be developed in the writing draft. Then mind mapping, when they put the central theme in the middle and draw points that are related to the theme. Or doing a quick write. Students write any related words and sentences about the topic without worrying about grammar, spelling, or vocabulary. So how can we implement this in class? In pre-writing, first, the students do pair work with their partners. They discuss parts of the letter, whether it's formal or informal, and brainstorm some points to be written in the letters. And after this, the students do a mind map and write about the parts of the letter. Then, once again, the students discuss with their partners the organization of their ideas, and they jot them down. And moving to the writing process, students write the first draft of the letter and edit their letter themselves in the class. And then they exchange the drafts with the peer feedback. And after that, students evaluate the drafts for emphasizing sentence structure, format, vocabulary, word order, spelling, and grammar structures. And after that, the students share the draft with their teacher and receive feedback for revision. And finally, based on the teacher's feedback, they produce a final draft of their writing. So students can share their writing with their teachers or friends or classmates. And speaking about the first draft, your students need to know that there is no assessment at this point, so that they feel safe about making mistakes. Start by identifying the students' strengths, and this will help to build the students' confidence and give them a foundation for improvement. And again, you need to be specific and constructive in your feedback. Focus on some specific areas of the students' writing and that they can improve. And try to avoid using general comments such as good job or needs improvement, and don't use the negative language or feedback. For example, I can see that you have put a lot of thought into this essay, but there are a few areas where you could improve. Or your writing is clear, but there are a few grammatical mistakes that you need to correct. And here I want to share my personal story, my personal experience. I guess storytelling is running in my veins because I often share my personal experience with. So when I was a senior at university, we used to write essays pretty often. And I don't remember the topic of the essay, but what I do remember is the feedback my teacher gave me. You see? So it was written just like this. Very nice ideas, but some minor mistakes stole away one point. I still have it, yeah, so I keep it. And I was not upset at all. I was pleased that my diligence was appreciated. My work was seen, yes. And at that time, I understood that the wise feedback was important. And it was something I gained from my tutor. And as a teacher, I tried to keep a positive feedback. I try to encourage my students. So you can start with a task analysis, something we are going to do a bit later. You can provide key vocabulary that you think students might need, and a text model like assembly. And it will be easier for students to think over and start writing as they have this base that they can relate to. And you can discuss and let students share their ideas in a class. So students can work together while they generate and select ideas. They can use brainstorming techniques such as mind mapping or listing, and they can collaborate and do this activity in pairs. And you can also use an assessment rubric. It's a scoring guide that is used to evaluate students' work. And it provides a clear and detailed description of the criteria that will be used to assess the work, as well as the different levels of performance for each criteria. In order to use an assessment rubric in class, simply share it with your students at the beginning of their task. And this will give students a clear understanding of what is expected of them and how their work will be assessed. And once students have completed their assignments, you can use it to assess their work and to provide them with feedback. So have a look at this letter. Yeah, no, actually it's not a letter. At this task. So have a look at the first paragraph. Usually it consists of 2 sentences. So it is something that your students need to do before writing. So what kind of letter is it? I mean, letter of reply, or we initiate the correspondence. Any guesses? A reply letter, yes, definitely. So, what is the context? Like the topic of this letter? Sport. Again, sport, yes. Advice, keeping fit, healthy life, doing sports, yes. And where do we find the information about the style? Whether it's formal or informal letter. Informal, but where do we find this information in the task? Okay, pen friends, super, yes, absolutely. So we can see the word pen friend, and we can say that this is an informal letter. The second sentence, write a letter to your pen friend. Okay, so learners need to find the meaningful parts in the task. And just could you find them? the meaningful parts or the keywords in this very first paragraph. Lack of experience, actually lack of exercise, yes? Okay. What else? Worry. Then okay, I will help you. So the words like parents are worried, the lack of exercise, and pen friends. Okay, and speaking about their conditions, you know that they should be completely covered. The first condition, whether you do sport or not and why. What are the keywords here? What are they? Do sports. Okay, yeah. What else? Why? Okay, do sport. Why? Okay. The reasons. Do sport. Okay, so let's see. Why? Okay, I'm very happy that I can see why in your answers. Yes, so here we identify about whom this condition is about. You, yes, not your friends or family members. Then the students need to pay attention to the last word in this condition. And here it is why. Yes, I see your answers, absolutely. So you are professionals. And this is the second part of the condition, yes? And very often students forget to explain. Okay, then have a look at the second condition. What sports are popular with your friends and where they do them? What are the key words here? Popular sports, friends, okay. Popular sports when, actually not when, but where? Okay, I see. Where, friends? What? So let's check. Yes, what sports are popular? Then here we are talking about your friends, again, not siblings or parents. And as you can see, each condition consists of two pieces of information. They should be replied. Yes, so here we are talking not only about popular sports, but also we need to point out where they, my friends, yes, do them. Okay, and the last one. What to pay attention here? Pieces of advice. Advice. Okay. Okay. So give some pieces of advice. How many? How many is enough? How do you think? 3, 2, okay. Yes, but not 1, right? 2, 3, And the same I want to say about what sports are popular. So the students need to name just several kinds of sports, not one. Yes, okay. So let's sum up that speaking about conditions, there is something with why, yeah, so our students need to remember that they don't need to skip this why, yes, and there is something with the plural. Okay, so so the students need to analyze the task, and they can jot down and to have it like a mind map. Okay, so just like this, yes, and they have this clear picture in front of them, so they can write some ideas and use it when writing the draft. And so actually they can turn these notes into the letter. They have something to start with. So the possible phrases, if this is the letter of reply, the possible phrases are: thanks for your letter. It was nice to hear from you. Yes, so something that they have drilled before. Again, here we are talking about each condition. So can't imagine my life without sport. We talk about friends, so girls and boys, yes, where they can do it, whether it's outdoor or join the gym. And speaking about the functional language we can use when give some pieces of advice is, okay, I see, if I were you, I'd, yes, so you should, and it is always nice idea to use proverbs, idioms, and good phrases in order to get maximum. Okay, so let's sum up. First of all, provide students with examples of high-scoring exam writing samples, because this will help them to see what a well-written exam response looks like, or give students a sample so they can use it as a base. Actually, they have these on 2 pages when they open the textbook. And the students are provided with the sample of the letter, which can be used as a base. And they can see all the paragraphs, starting from the greetings, the main part, ending, and they can also have a look at the plan and see how to write an informal letter responding to the invitation. And so we start with the greeting, opening paragraph, main part containing phrases when we want to accept or refuse the invitation, giving the reason, and making a suggestion. Again, closing paragraph, so the students can see this. And exam tips, like additional information, how to write an informal letter. And here they can, the key points are mentioned here. And we've got the task. The task asking to respond to this letter. So teach students how to brainstorm and organize their ideas, and it will help them to develop a clear and logical structure for their writing. And be sure that your students are familiar with the task. They are familiar with the task analysis, and teach students different types of exam writing tasks, whether it's writing an essay or letter, whether it's formal, semi-formal, informal, and explain the key elements that students should include in their writing, and pay attention to the most frequently made mistakes, and it will help them, help students to avoid common grammar mistakes, and also teach students how to proofread their work carefully before submitting. Okay, so I guess this is it from me. Okay, so a few words about your certificates. Just a quick reminder that within 7 working days, you'll get your certificates. Yes, so there will be the letter with the link and the instruction. Just follow this link and follow this instruction, and you will be able to download your certificate very quickly. But please be patient, okay? Here you can see my contact information. You can see my phone number, my email address, Victoria. Please pay attention to the spelling. Victoria.kolesnik@linguist.ua. So I ask you to visit our Facebook page, because there are lots of different useful information and material that you can use when teaching English in the secondary school, in high school, yes, primary school. And have you got any questions? Okay. Many thanks for the information. Okay, thank you. So I want to thank you for coming, for taking time out of your busy day. I know it is busy. It is September, so usually it is very chaotic at school. Okay, so thanks for coming. Okay, so thank you. Goodbye.